Hello everyone and welcome back to the LSI summer season. We're today for the Friday to round 5, the penultimate event, the Qatar Grand Prix, the first ever time we have been at Qatar. And of course next week we also have the brand new Las Vegas circuit. Gibby's going to be setting the first lap time on the board. Even though they've made contact with the wall, they're still going to get this lap done in a valid fashion. It's not going to be super competitive, but it will be up there at least with 10 minutes to go. You always want something. 27.2 there for Gibby with quite a big mistake. I'm sure he can improve on that one, but as you can see, we have got brand new cars, which might take a little bit of a while to get used to, not only by looks, but also by sound. Slightly different engines. I'm not entirely sure which engine this uses. I believe it might be the Ferrari, I think, in this game. I believe it was the Mercedes in the last game. Anyway, that being said, we're using the F1 World Cars because you may know that the F1 2023 livery cars, they do have a performance difference despite putting them on the equal performance setting. This way, we can have completely equal performance and everything is fair. Everyone will have their own pit box as well because there are less than 11 drivers in the lobby. And yeah, custom liveries are going to be available. Some people are going to be using the default livery. Some people are going to be using the Connor Sport livery, as you can see with Dave Raptors right now. And then you do have, of course, some people doing whatever they feel is best. We have a bit of a livery that I do want to go over, which is Zingy's livery. Of course, he has run a usual purple and kind of gold, yellow. He said orange. I don't believe him. Style kind of situation going on, and yeah, it's pretty nice. I'll admit he's done a pretty nice job right there. Both these guys. Oh no, that's a default for Robbo, so that's not a problem at all. It looks pretty nice to be a default skin. It's just I thought maybe they would have been running the same kind of livery, Dave Raptors and Robbo. But anyway, there you go. There's Zingy's livery. You can see a very nice gold and purple, a bit of black and white in it as well, so adds to it. Quite complex. It doesn't look too bad from a distance. It looks pretty interesting, I'd say. I quite like it. I quite like it. And on board, it looks pretty nice as well. On board, of course, with Ziggy, who's also got that default livery, and then Hydra with the green livery, maybe trying to take inspiration from his Twitch channel logo as he sports that green colour. Let's see what he can do today, as there are only 6 drivers on the grid. And I think he's had some pretty recent experience getting the car rotated into turn 6. You're going to be careful of that in the race if you try and overtake another car. You don't want to spin out and absolutely ruin their day, losing the car on the rear on the throttle, interestingly, which is very, very tricky to do. But he's got it done. Once again, locking the rears. I think that lap is going to be pretty much aborted, and that's how it will go for him. Ziggy is now going to start his actual lap. Last time he did do an outlap and then he invalidated on the final corner to start his full lap, so he didn't actually get anything done. Dave Raptors, he's currently on a lap right now. We'll stay on board with him as they come around the final few corners in the Connor Sport car. They will stay out as another car pits. DRS going to be available. What's it going to be? A long, long, long run to the line, which is going to be crucial for later on in the race in the final laps. Dave Raptors at 21.5. Let's see who can challenge him now. Ziggy, I believe, is on a cooldown lap, but they might actually be going for another lap, believe it or not. I think they are. Heischer's left the session, interestingly. That's not ideal. Hopefully they can join back. If not, then that will be a big, big shame. But we carry on as Ziggy is going to be, I'm pretty sure, pushing to finish this lap. His battery is almost done. He's got one final corner to get through and he'll be good to go. I talk about battery. The deployment actually isn't optimized at this circuit, so you do run out as you get to the very, very end of the lap. But it's still going to be a decent time, and that's going to be a 22.3. A decent amount of ERS I mean, as you, everyone will have to sing. Gibby, I think, is on a lap now. We've got Robbo coming around the final corner to finally get their lap done, and then Zingy will follow them immediately. He's had some pretty good pace around here, so he's definitely going to be one to watch. Robbo across the line, and that's going to be a 21.9. Zingy! That is going to be, for Zingy, another invalid lap. Another invalid lap, so he's going again. He has to go again, surely. I don't think he'll pit. I think he'll carry on and try and do one more. Got about half a battery to go, so it's going to be pretty tough to get done, but we'll see what he can do. He's got a car right in front of him, which is going to pretty blatantly impede him there, unfortunately, so that's not going to be absolutely ideal. That is Robbo maybe getting a little bit in the way there after being impeded themselves at Brazil before then immediately impeding LSI right after. So qualifying antics are going to be very much involved and causing a few issues here and there. That does now mean Zingy's going to only have one lap to set a qualifying time, and he'll have to probably take it a little bit more cautious. Gibby across the line once again. Let's see what they can do. Can they improve? That is going to be a 3.9 second gain on their previous lap, a 23.2. Still 9/10 off Ziggy and P3, but an improvement is an improvement, and that is good to see. No sign of Heischler rejoining. Zingy goes into the pit lane. That is how that one goes for the minute. Sorry for the delay. Okie dokie. That is all cool. Alright, Heischler joins back. That's good to see. Gibby on track to do their cooldown lap. Will they get in on time to go again? It's going to be pretty tight. If they do want to go again, they're going to have to hurry up. But they might be staying out to either do another lap, which I doubt it, looking at the ERS. Or they might not be doing a lap at all because they might want to save their tyres. It's very, very possible they do go into the pit lane, of course. And looking at this pit lane, it's very, very different to what you've seen in the past. Fairly wide, but still somewhat narrow entry, and then a late braking moment as you get closer to the line, and it widens up, so it's going to be possible for overtakes. It's similar to Hungary in a way, as you have to take a corner, of course, to get into the pit lane. And then it's kind of like, it widens up. I don't know what has a really wide pit lane entry in particular, but, you know, I'm waffling. So that's how that goes, you know. Alright, well, Ziggy and Zingy are both out on track. We'll go on board with Zingy to see if he can finally get a lap done. Zingy right behind, and Ziggy, I was meant to say, is currently going to set their lap before Zingy. That was an absolute mouthful, but we'll get used to it eventually, I'm sure. Ziggy and Zingy. Just trying to use the brakes to warm those tyres in this game. That is what you can do. So he's making sure that he uses that tool to his advantage. And you can get pretty much perfect tyre temp. You'll probably bring the bias towards the front wheels as well to try and heat the fronts up nice and evenly. Then bring it right back as you start the lap. Lift off to make sure everything's good. And then you push for it now as you come out the final corner. DRS available, and now you're just waiting. Feels like an absolute age as you go down the straight at Qatar, but now you spot your braking point, and then you're going to get ready to turn in just after the 50, pretty much more or less on the 50, accelerating on the exit, trying to get a kind of late apex to push the car towards the outside, and once again, through the next few corners, I believe this is 4 and 5, I think this is, turn 4 and 5, the hairpin is 6, going a little bit slow through there, but still it's fast enough. Into 6, the hairpin, using all the entry curve you possibly could. Fair play to him, and on the exit as well, quite nicely done. as well. Turn 7 now. To 8, and then up to 9. Very easy to get a track limit warning there, as it's so easy flat. Down 2 gears, and then back on the throttle once again, just trying to drive the car towards the outside, get almost a late apex in the way, but you just want to make sure you focus on the exit over the entry around the circuit. Flat through here, flat through here, flat through here. Maybe a downshift? No, they stay in 7th gear, now a downshift. Penultimate corner, back on the throttle, up the gear again. Maybe get to 8th gear. No, staying in 7th, and then we'll go down the gears for the final time. DRS available for the final time, and you're waiting until you get to the line, hoping that the ERS doesn't cause you too many problems. That is going to be a 20.9. That is 6/10. My maths was horrible there. 6/10 in front of the rest of the grid. Zingy has gone and done that very, very well. Dave Raptors will not be able to improve. Robbo will give it a shot if he possibly can. Ziggy, he already set his final lap, unless he's going again, which I doubt it. That will be their session done and dusted. So Robbo, he's got a couple more corners to go through. Turn 6 right here. Can he beat his teammate in the Saturday tier? Of course, Dave Raptors, they both drive for Mercedes. Today it's a little bit more different. And strategy-wise, you'll have free choice, as you have your own hitbox, of course, so you will not be slowed down by your teammate at any point whatsoever. Sitting in P3 of a 21.9. Let's see what he can get done. Final few corners, easy flat, easy to validate as well. Staying in 7th, down to 6th, slight lift, no brakes. Using the engine braking with the gears, of course. And then we get into the final corner. On the throttle, DRS available. Robbo, what's it going to be to finish off qualifying this evening in Qatar? It's going to be a P3, a 21.500, exactly the same as Dave Raptors. The two teammates basically collide in qualifying regarding times. That's absolutely incredible. Dave Raptors will just manage to get ahead either by very small margins or because he set the lap time first. But Robbo, what an effort. Oh, what a shame for Robbo, but absolutely amazing for Dave Raptors there. How about that? That was very, very satisfying to watch as they go exactly the same pace. Zingy takes pole position, Dave Raptors in P2 and Robbo in P3. This is the rest of the grid, and then we will skim through the race director just in case if we need to a little bit later on. We'll be back for the race. We'll see you in a bit. Ready? Hold. Go! Who's gonna get it into turn one? I almost forgot what I was gonna say. Zingy gets away well as we are finally away. That's the Connor Sport to the inside and a massive lag spike. They're finally making it to the first corner. That is a car very, very far off into the distance. I don't know who that was. Dave Raptors trying to go to the outside. Goes off the circuit momentarily, trying to find a way through. That is his teammate Robbo right there at P3. Ziggy seems to have an issue off the line once again. Dave Raptors doing his absolute best to get around the outside, and he is. It looks like it. He's on the soft tyre compared to the hard. He has the grip advantage on the exit. This should be his corner, but no. Zingy is going to come back at him. He's going to have the inside line and space will have to be left. Absolutely perfect there from Zing, and he's still going to keep it side by side. They're going to have to slow down massively through this corner, almost losing the car at an easy flat corner. Robbo to the inside line now. He's going to have a look. It's very, very tight. He's on the curb. It's so difficult. He's got so much speed. That is going to be Robbo up the order. Is he on the medium tyre as well? They're all on a mix of tyres, and that is going to be Zingy's lead lost very, very soon on into this race. I don't think he's going to be worrying too much because he knows the strategy is going to be very, very good for him indeed. He goes off the circuit momentarily. Hopefully he doesn't do that too many times. Gibby sitting right behind these guys. He's on the medium tyre. Is he going to have a look at a move already? No, I don't think so. It's only lap 2. It would be very stupid to do so, although he does almost dive it to the inside. Looking so close. Heisler just behind these guys. Let's have a look at the tyre situation for him. He's on the hard tyre as well as Zingy, which is a pretty standard tyre to go for. Ziggy on the mediums. Lots of mixing up, which I'm very, very surprised to see, but it's happened. And obviously for Dave Raptors right now it's working. Robbo is right behind him, which is not exactly what you want, because he wants to make sure that he can escape with this superior tyre. We only get one DRS straight, so in theory you should actually have a decent time of escaping, but unfortunately it doesn't seem to be quite that way. Unfortunately seems that Ziggy has got a bit of a game issue, so that does mean unfortunately either they're going to be very far back or the AI is currently driving the car for them and we won't be seeing them race, unfortunately. That is a great shame to see that happen already, but we will start lap 3. DRS will be available on the next lap. It's currently going to be detected this lap, of course, but Dave Raptors taking the fastest lap for now, and then we'll get the DRS train on the way, and we could see some switch-ups regarding fastest lap and also positions. Will Robbo try and pull the pin nice and early to make sure that he's got a car in between himself and Zingy, or is he going to sit behind and let his teammate kind of just vibe in P1 for a bit? I think he'll give him at least 2 laps to try and escape, and if Robbo does feel a bit threatened, then he might try and change things up. Zingy's not really going to be in a rush, to be honest. The strategy is very, very advantageous for him right now, as that is a big mistake there for Dave Raptors. Those soft tyres may be already dying off after 3 laps. They won't be dying off, the pace will still be there, but the tyre temps could have possibly risen around such a high-speed circuit where you've constantly got load on those tyres. It's going to be very, very easy to make mistakes. You should see an easy 5-lap distance on this, maybe 6 and 7 laps. Probably 8, I would say, but when you get to 7 and 8, it's going to start to drop off a little bit, and then you will start to see the disadvantage. From then on, DRS will be available right here. Robbo's going to have it. Does he have enough of an advantage to catch significantly up to Dave Raptors, or is Zingy going to show that he has a low downfall setup? No, no one is going to be going for a move. They're all just going to sit where they are right now and make sure that they just think about this race in the long game. Lap 4 out of 29, we've got a long way to go. Alrighty, Unfortunately, not really sure what we can do for Ziggy. It's kind of out of our control, which is a heck of a shame. Alrighty. Let's look at the thought process that Zingy's going to be going through right now. He's got 2 cars in front of him. They are teammates in the Saturday tier. They're going to be working together, so it's not going to be so straightforward. He has a significant advantage over Dave Raptors. Does he have a significant advantage over Robbo? Not as significant, but it is good enough, you know. Staying behind in this train. One, he's third in the DRS train, which always makes it difficult, but also Qatar, not so easy to overtake at this circuit. So, yeah, he's in a bit of a difficult situation. He can pressurize Robbo into making an overtake on Dave Raptors, and then if Dave Raptors can't push and Robbo has to go for the overtake and slow each other down, then maybe Zingy can sneak away in and get both cars in one go. That is something that I'm sure he'll be planning out in his head right now. Sorry about that. I did try to deafen, but that didn't work. I do apologise for the slight delay. Unfortunately, that has hiked the round. I will be back very, very soon. Here we go. To the inside, Zingy goes. He knows he'll get DRS on Dave Raptors. If he does it, Dave Raptors makes a mistake, and Robbo, going off the circuit, gives himself a 3-second time penalty. They're all pushing now. He's going to pressure Dave Raptors. He's going to pressure Robbo. He managed to make it work to the inside line. Zingy's going to take the lead. Exactly what I was thinking, and he's got it done. How about that? Robbo's now to P2 with a time penalty to add to his name, and Dave Raptors goes from P1 all of a sudden to P3. Robbo to the outside line. He's trying to come back at him. He wants to make sure that he doesn't give up. Immediately ghosting there. Maybe a little bit of contact. That is not what we want to see. A little bit of a wheel bang, but nothing that's really going to harm anything too much. Robbo holding the outside line. Will he be able to get the move done? I think he will, as that's going to be Zingy backing off, making sure at least he secures P2. He's not going to use all his energy by just trying to hold on to that P1 when you've got that third place car right there threatening you. Otherwise, you just go back to square one. So he does need to be smart about this, and he is currently being very smart about this. If he does get now right behind as we go to the final corner, he'll be able to make a very nice move, possibly early on as well. And then he'll find himself having an extreme advantage and not being hindered as we get to turn one. Dave Raptors, though, having an absolutely epic final corner, which is going to allow him to push a little bit. He might be able to threaten, but it will compromise his teammate. Zingy's going to go for the move as they're all blasting the ERS. Zingy goes to the inside line, not having the full advantage that I expected, but it's enough of an advantage to make himself fully in front, and I don't know if Robbo's going to be able to come back from this one. Is he going to use any energy? He's not, but he's got a lot of straight line speed there, as Zingy maybe not so much in the setup area, maybe a little bit higher in the downforce, which does of course give you an advantage, especially in qualifying, but not so much in the race. That does allow Robbo to hold on quite nicely. He does have the superior tyres as of now. Dave Raptors, not so much, but he's still holding on very nicely, despite now being behind and not being able to defend. That is Gibby, unfortunately, spinning, and they will allow Heischler to catch up a little bit. Hopefully, Ziggy can get back into this race, but unfortunately, I don't think it's looking too good. Zingy leads the way, and this is going to be the first major opportunity that Robbo will have. DRS available. He's going to be using a bit of ERS to try and get the advantage, and then a secondary usage as well, potentially, to try and make sure he maintains himself alongside. He goes to the inside line to try and trick Zingy a little bit there. Oh, and he's lost the cars. He's way too aggressive on the throttle. Dave Raptors is going to have to slot in behind after that one. He gave it his best shot, but maybe a little bit too far wide on the marbles, and then trying to step on the power. It just made it incredibly difficult. He couldn't quite get there. Very, 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 very good effort, but unfortunately, it's not going to work out so well. Going on the marbles will give you a bit of tyre wear and also less grip, of course, but that's how it goes. Alright, sorry a second. We will be right back. Just going to quickly sort something, and then we'll be good to go. I do apologise. That is all cool. Alrighty, let's get back to racing. Zingy leads the way. Robbo's going to be right behind him still. Dave Raptors, I am very surprised that he is able to keep with the pack right now. It's impressive. Dave Raptors goes and gets himself a 3-second as Robbo goes immediately off the circuit, maybe being distracted by the message being displayed on his screen. Zingy might also see a problem regarding time penalties. It's not impossible, but currently he does have the advantage, of course, so he doesn't really need to push as much. That is Robbo once again going to try it to the inside line. Zingy is going to try and hold it nice and wide, and he will hold it nice and wide. Now he has the inside line, but he slots in behind. He is once again not willing to fight so hard for P1 that he loses P2. Dave Raptors, though, is going to look for P2. He goes to the outside line. It's not going to be so straightforward as he goes off the circuit. It got a bit tricky there. Didn't quite see what was going on, but yeah, that was an interesting situation. Very, very weird. Dave Raptors currently P3 now, with looking like he's going to be without potential DRS, which is never what you really want to see. We'll see if he can catch back up. Maybe Robbo's going to try and slow down a little bit in the corner section, although I don't think he's really going to be worrying about that too much, because he'd rather try and fight for the win here than make sure that his teammate gets DRS. His teammate does get DRS regardless, so he doesn't really need to worry about him too much. He just needs to make sure that he fights Zingy hard here to allow his teammate to catch up. And Dave Raptors being on that soft tyre, he is doing pretty well, because the pace disadvantage that he'd have with old tyres kind of cancels out a little bit, because now all of a sudden you've got that advantage with the DRS to maintain your speed. He doesn't have DRS right now. He might lose out, unfortunately, so it might be time for a hard tyre undercut, which might work well around this kind of circuit, as these guys could fight pretty hard, but we will find out. I'm sure that is going to be Ziggy, unfortunately, having issues. I think at least they've got into the lobby, so that's good news, but they are going to be lapped as soon as they get in, which is very, very unfortunate, but it's how it goes sometimes. Eichler now finally caught up to the back of Gibby. This could be a battle to watch very, very shortly. Will Eichler have now the tyre advantage and be able to start making moves on Gibby, or Gibby be able to hold on until the pit stop window? That is the question that we will have to find out later, and I'm sure it's going to be an entertaining battle. As you do see, of course, Ziggy still in front. He's trying to unlap himself, but he's got to be careful. That is going to be Robbo getting DRS to Zingy's frustration, so he will be able to maintain that gap. Ziggy's going to have to move out the way, unfortunately, as these guys are close enough and they are going to be fighting pretty hard. Zingy isn't going to go for a move. He wasn't really close enough anyway, despite Robbo still going defensive. The question is, will maybe Robbo try and use this as an advantage and stay behind and get DRS? I don't know. He doesn't go for it. Zingy's going to go to the inside line just to peek and try and scare Robbo off the racing line, but he is not phased. Ziggy does eventually move out the way, so that's fair enough to him. I was considering maybe Robbo would try and stay behind and just in the DRS train, even though it is a blue flag car. I think maybe Ziggy would probably get a penalty by the time that happened, though, because you do get a penalty eventually by the game, so he doesn't, he wasn't able to stay behind for too long. Dave Raptors does go into the pit lane, so they did get that hard tyre set, and they do exit pretty much out on their own, so they're going to have a nice time warming up those tyres, but they do have two cars up in front who are somewhat close to one another on older tyres, but that is Heischler and Gibby switching around. Heischler now currently sitting in P3, Nat P4. Now, it is going to be Robbo's mission to try and fight somewhat hard. Of course, he does need to make sure he maintains the lead on Zingy and carries on for as long as he can, but if he can help his teammate out here, then that undercut could be very, very severe as he brakes a lot earlier than Zingy. Zingy's going for that outside line, so you can naturally brake later, but that was a big, big difference in braking performance. Maybe that is just the medium tyre starting to die off now. The lighter car of Zingy getting to a good position. And I say about lighter, I say about weight. That is going to be such an interesting situation for later on in the race, because this track, I should say, it's a very, very thirsty one. Lots of high-speed full throttle moments, which makes it very easy to really use a lot of fuel. And yeah, you're going to overheat the engine to add to that, so you might see a couple of people trying to get out of the slipstream to make sure the engine doesn't heat up too much. But that being said, of course, fuel is the more important factor, and if you don't have enough to get to the end, you're going to have to start lifting. Zingy, I think he's done his research. He's done a Grand Prix around here a couple of weeks ago, so he should be at least somewhat able to know what to do, and that should be a pretty good advantage to him, or for him. But we're not going to have any safety cars, it looks like, so it's not going to be so straightforward. He will have a go, ERS, DRS available, and Robbo is going to have to probably give that one up, as a lot of overspeed there for Zingy makes it very difficult for Robbo to come back. He will get DRS on the next lap, so as long as he is able to maintain these tyres and have at least somewhat of an advantage, then maybe he can hold DRS and come back at Zingy, but they're going to be wanting to go as long as they possibly can. And a mistake like that, with the tyres now wearing out slightly, is not going to be very useful at all. Zingy, I think, will have somewhat the tyre advantage, as tyres do wear at a slightly increased rate around this circuit. You're scrubbing them so much as you really try and use all the grip you possibly can to make the corners in such a high-speed fashion. And you can see 6/10. He should have done enough right here, because you can't gain too much in these virtually flat corners. So he'll be good to go for now. He just needs to be careful of track limits. Right now, Zingy's not really worried too much. He's on the secure strategy, as I said, and if he doesn't have any time penalties, he might be close to getting one, though. Regardless, though, if he does just make sure he stays tidy, then he should be able to get this win quite nicely. Now, Robbo is going to push for the overtake. Will he be able to get alongside into turn one? I think he will. To the inside line he will go. Zingy's not going to defend too hard. They make sure they maintain a kind of central line to give Robbo the opportunity. He's not going to try and fight back, though. He knows that it's not worth it on that 14 out of 29. He gave it a good shot, Zingy, as he tries to move to the outside line and swoop it around with the advantage on the outside line, at least for a while. But then Robbo got ahead. He was able to squeeze him out and maintain or gain that position back from earlier on. So that is absolutely epic from him. Very, very well done. We do have Heischler and Dave Raptors fighting now, which is absolutely tragic here for Dave Raptors, as there's contact between the two, and that is not going to be how we want that to go. Unfortunately, Heischler is going to drop down the order. Gibby is going to... No, that's Ziggy, actually, who's going to make that position back. That was Dave Raptors trying to get the undercut on Zingy and Robbo, and now unfortunately it looks like that's probably gone all the way down the drain, as they will now have to make all that progress back up. A 28-second gap is not going to help. Zingy has used this opportunity to make a pit stop as he realizes Dave Raptors has that issue, so I'm definitely going to give it a shot. You go downhill a little bit there on pit entry. I was a bit worried that Zingy was going to speed, but no, he is good to go. He gets the car stopped. Onto the medium tyre. He should be good to go to the end, and you're going to be doing about 14-15 laps on these tyres. So Robbo will, I assume, be hitting within the next lap to try and react, but on a disadvantaged tyre, he might have to just try and go long and then get the soft tyre on. There you can see Ziggy. You can't see Dave Raptors because that advantage that Zingy has just gained was absolutely incredible, and I would say that would have been probably a bit over 4 seconds. I'd reckon it would have been about 6, maybe 7 seconds advantage according to a crash like that. So that is a big shame for Dave Raptors, unfortunately, but it's how it goes. Yeah, that is unfortunate for him. Maybe he can try and get back into this. We don't know what Robbo's going to do, if he's going to make a pit stop. He might try and help his teammate out here. They both have time penalties, so they might have to work together. He's going to go into the pit lane. I'm surprised at that, to be honest. Brake as late as he possibly can. Very well done, actually. Not leaving anything on the table. Into the pit lane now as he locks the rears, and that is going to be a very slow pit stop as he has to gain the speed back. Trying to brake as late as he can. He might have got damage. I doubt he would have from that kind of scrape. But yeah, that is how that one has gone. He goes onto the hard tyre. It is going to be the disadvantaged tyre. Also, the undercut there for Zingy is going to be pretty nice. Now, pitting somewhat, not really early, but nice and early, I'd say. Zingy will still have the advantage for a while. It just might get to the final couple of laps, and then we could potentially see the hard tyres come into play. That being said, Robbo would have to catch back up a 5-second advantage, which might extend as Zingy is now on that faster tyre. He would have to also try and make the overtake and then escape a 3-second time penalty range, which is going to be so hard to actually get done. 3 seconds there for Robbo. Dave Raptors, 12 seconds for Heichler, and 6 seconds for Gibby. You do see Dave Raptors and Robbo nice and close together. They're equal on time penalties, and they are fairly similar, I'd say, on tyre wear. 5 laps on a hard tyre, not a world of difference. It's going to be a nice advantage, of course, when you get to the end of the race, but still, I think you should be able to hold on quite nicely. Robbo's still trying to warm up his tyres right here. He's going to go into the pit lane again, actually. That's a weird one. That is a very weird one. That is going to be Zingy going for a fastest lap on that medium tyre. And Robbo goes into the pit lane. Maybe for a repair wing situation. He must have got damage. He did get damage as he entered the pit lane. No, he didn't get damage. He's going back onto the meat. Why is that? Okay, he is just going to give up. No, it's a shame. That is a shame. That is a shame. But never mind. That's going to make it very easy for Zingy now. So there's going to be pretty much no question of a possible comeback with another set of tyres. I thought it might be possible, especially with the fuel situation that you get around this circuit. But that's how it goes. 9-second difference between Dave Raptors and Zingy now. That was a 4-second difference just earlier on, so you can tell how advantageous that strategy is by going hard medium. Because, yeah, sure, you do lose some time off the start and you could lose positions, but if you can hold a DRS train, then you're going to pretty much gain net time on that tyre. And then when you go into the pit lane and you come back out, then you've got the more advantageous tyre. Oh no! Zingy's into the wall! Robbo's going to be regretting that one! A virtual safety car! Dave Raptors is going to absolutely love that. No, that's not. Oh, okay. I'm gonna try and reenact that. Hold on, give me a second. Oh no, Dave Raptors is into the wall. He's got damage. I do not believe it. The virtual safety car is deployed. He's not going to be happy with that one. There you go. That's going to be a little bit better for the highlights, unfortunately. That is such a shame. Dave Raptors losing the car. And yeah, that is going to be pretty painful. Heischler takes the opportunity to go into the pit lane for a fresh set of medium tyres. So yeah, that's how it goes. Virtual safety car only, so not a full safety car, unfortunately. Zingy's now going to have a chance to relax a little bit. I don't think he really needs to save too much battery, but he can make sure that he's up to date with his fuel, of course. So that is always good to know. Of course, everybody else also been doing the same thing, and now you've just got to focus on that delta so you can get a nice, tidy restart, of course. Right through penalty for Ziggy, as unfortunately he does get himself just over the delta, as I just said. That is not what you want to see. That is going to be so difficult for him to come back from that one. He is a lap down already, so that's going to be even more problems for him. Alrighty, well, Zingy leads the way by quite a nice margin, and Gibby and Heischler are going to jump in front of Dave Raptors here. We're going to watch on board, because we do see now, of course, Heischler having a more advantageous tyre, and of course I think he might have had damage from the contact before, so maybe this allows him to be back up to pace. Maybe he did have a problem earlier on, which is why potentially he did pit. Dave Raptors exits the pit lane, and I think that might be him done, as he does unfortunately make another mistake, which isn't going to help his tyres as he does go into the gravel. Doesn't look like he's got damage at least, but yeah, that's an interesting one. We won't watch that anymore. Heischler right now 2.2 seconds behind. Which is always good to see indeed. Gibby is going to be under the pressure. Not good for Gibby, of course. I don't wish this on them, but it's good to see a battle, of course, on screen. That's what we want to see, which we would really, really enjoy. Heischler does get himself another 3-second time penalty, unfortunately, so this battle is just going to be for glory. Yeah, sure, Gibby does have a 6-second time penalty, but 18 seconds versus 6. That's a pretty significant difference. So a 12-second advantage currently Gibby has. So even if Heischler does make that move, as long as he is able to keep within 12 seconds, he will secure a P2. And that is not a bad result at all. That is not a bad result at all. Alrighty, Heischler now within DRS range. Those tyres are looking pretty good. I think he's going to wait to the DRS zone, and that'll be a pretty straightforward pass, I'm sure. Literally no ERS here for Gibby compared to Heisch, who has got a bit of ERS. Off-track moments, 2 in a row there for Gibby, which does make it slightly difficult. But Game over is looking pretty close, as DRS will be available, ERS will be available, tyres will be available as he'll outbrake him into turn 1. I don't think he's going to need to outbrake him, because I think by the time he gets to turn 1, he will be fully ahead. Gibby realises, slots in behind, takes the racing line, minimising his time loss. And now, right now, lap 21 out of 29, all he's got to think about is trying to stay within a 12-second time penalty range and not get any time penalties himself. Can he get that done and hold on to a P2? That is the question. That is going to be something that we will be watching. Just want to double check those time penalties. It is a 6-second time penalty for Gibby. So let's watch and see what gap will that get to, because he is on a 9-lap-old hard tyre compared to a 3-lap-old medium tyre. He's going to lose time. He just needs to make sure that he minimises that damage. Heichler will have an extreme advantage, but he's got a very, very hard job with not too long to go. It's long enough, just not quite so straightforward. Heichler escaping slightly. No DRS range will be available at the moment unless Heichler does make a mistake. Now, actually, Heichler does go off circuit a little bit, but he might get DRS here off of Ziggy. I think he just missed out, unfortunately. That will not be available to him. Maybe if he is able to get it on the next lap. But I think by that time, with the tyre situation as it is, Heichler would probably have already made that move on the lap car of Ziggy, who is, once again, I'll say, in a very unfortunate situation with the start of the race, which pretty much ended it as it began. However, look at him, staying in the race. P4, solid points. I salute that fully. Very, very well played from him indeed to maintain that. And that is going to be Heichler making that move ahead of the lap car. He will not get DRS, but I don't think he really cares. I think he'll prefer to try and extend the gap. That's a 3-second advantage that now is available to Heichler. What we're going to do on the next lap is figure out the gap, and then we'll wait until the next lap, see what the gap will be, and we'll see if it's going to be at all possible for Heichler to escape. That is unfortunately Zingy getting himself a 3-second time penalty. So, yeah, if some events didn't happen earlier on, it would have been a pretty close battle, I think, between the top 3. That is now just one driver from that original battle. But very, very good driving from Zingy. Very well played. Straightforward strategy. Just had a little bit of hard work initially. And from then on, it is pretty much good to go. All right, 3.8 seconds as you cross the line, Gibby. Let's see what it is going to be on the next lap. How much will Heichler be gaining? He needs to get over a second a lap, I believe. No, he's got about 8 seconds to gain, 7.5 maybe, if my maths is remotely correct. Six laps to go when he crosses the line next. Currently gained the second, and he's gaining more and more and more. We're halfway through the lap, more or less, maybe a little bit over halfway. So this could be very possible here for Heichler to get that 12-second advantage. Now, we're about to start lap 24 for these guys. We will see the true gap that he can gain. The question is, can Heichler keep maintaining that gap or not? I think Gibby, he was so close to getting DRS, I think he is going to miss out on it. We'll go down the straight, and we will then find out as he is about to cross the line. It's going to be about a 5.3 second gap between Heichler and Gibby. He's got 6 laps to go. And that was a... Let me try and figure this gap out. Hold on a second. So 1.5 second advantage right there over 1 lap. Which would, of course, be... I'm trying to figure that one out right there. Nine-second advantage. He would be able to gain 9 seconds over the top. So he could, in theory, get this done. Should, in theory, be about a 13 to 14 second gap. As that is going to be Ziggy going into the pit lane potentially for a fastest lap attempt. Now, you can see Heisler just up ahead. No ERS for either driver, so they're basically equal, using absolutely everything, which is going to slow down the car quite significantly. You can see Heisler really is pushing as he tries to make this work. Been stuck in the 6-second range at the moment, which is not what he needs at the moment. He does need to make sure that he maintains his pace, but potentially we were on a ERS burning lap just earlier on. Now you can see the rear is getting slightly loose, and the ERS is not available, so possibly the car is slightly slower than before. This is going to be pretty intense for him towards the end, I think. He's about halfway there, just over. He needs basically double what he currently has to be safe. That'll be a 13-second advantage. I'm not sure what is going to be possible right here. But however, I will look at the current P1 situation. Zingy, 32 seconds in front. I reckon he's probably going to make a pit stop and go for the fastest lap. Currently, Ziggy is going to go and give it a shot. And I think he has somewhat pace in this race. I think it's a shame that he wasn't in it from early on. I think he could have definitely been there. A 23.7 is the lap Ziggy will have to beat. So we'll watch on board as he's actually just made the pit stop. So he's not going to be in too much of a situation at the moment. Regarding fastest lap, of course. But yeah, Zingy is probably going to also go into the pit lane. Ziggy actually decides to go back into the pit lane, so they're not going to go for fastest lap this time. Are they going to either go on to another set of softs or retire the car? I'm not entirely sure. But we're just about getting the car stopped regardless. That is a 7.6 second advantage that Heisler now has. It was looking pretty good earlier on. I think it might be a little bit more difficult now, and I think Gibby might have a very, very nice shot at getting that P2. Not impossible for Heisler. He doesn't have actually that long to go, so it's going to be about a 4 second advantage that he needs at the moment over just a few laps left of this race. And as we do expect, Zingy is going to react to Ziggy, and he is going to also attempt a fastest lap. We'll see Ziggy go for the fastest lap first, and then we will see Zingy try and counter that immediately. We'll start lap 27 for Heisler right here. Three laps to go of this race. He needs to try and gain just under 4 seconds if he wants to make this work. Let's go and check in on the fastest lap attempt here from Ziggy, as he's just going to get those tyres warmed up and ready to go. Ziggy will follow on very, very shortly after. I am mixing their names up pretty severely right now. Ziggy should be able to get this done at least initially. Tyre wear wise, he'll be good to go. Fuel wise, we don't know. It might be a little bit more difficult to manage. We'll find out though. We will find out, of course. He's just trying to make sure that he warms the tyres up properly, and then he'll be good to go. Zingy in himself, he is actually catching up, which could change things a little bit. But we will finally start this lap here with Ziggy. He will now be on, I think, is it lap 26 for him? And he might get lapped twice after he made that double pit stop. Zingy now starts his lap right there So this is going to be very interesting to see. And I think it'll be good motivation for Zingy here to try and catch up, regardless if he goes for the fastest lap or not. In the meantime, that's a 9.8 second gap that Heischler now has, as he does start to hit lap 28 himself. He's got just under 2 laps to go and try and get that 2-second advantage. It's not looking impossible right now. It's looking very possible. Gibby just needs a little bit more. They just need to find that tiny, tiny margin, and they'll be good to go. It's going to be so, so tricky, though. We're going to watch on board with Ziggy as we get to the sector line. We'll immediately go and have a look at Zingy. That is a 54.8, and that is going to be, for Zingy, a 54.5. 3 tenths in front right now. He's giving it a good old crack, Ziggy, but Zingy, he's on fire at the moment. Just a couple more corners to go. Ziggy will at least have a look at a pretty nice fastest lap. Zingy will, however, immediately take it as long as he doesn't make a mistake in the final few corners. Ziggy goes purple as he crosses the line, and Zingy, what's he going to do here? He is going to take it away immediately. Very, very good effort. We'll go and have a quick look at 22.729 from Zingy there, and only a tenth away. Only a tenth away. Zingy did a very good job on that lap. Zingy does hold it, and I think that will probably be the advantage gained, as they are kind of just trying to, you know, say hello. Nice little battle, even though we weren't battling off track or on track there. He only gets it by a tenth, but he's still got it done, and I think Zingy is just going to let him go. He is on the final lap, is Zingy, as he will be able to secure this win as long as he doesn't make any major mistakes. That's 3 tenths that Heischler now needs to take that P2. It's looking very, very good. Oh no! And he gets another 3-second time penalty on the final lap. Gibby is gonna take the P2 surely after that one. What a shame. What a shame for Heischler. All of that effort, he's almost got that advantage that he needed, and it's all gone horribly wrong. Oh no! Gibby's made a mistake. I do not believe it. Heischler will get it. Regardless, Zingy's going to come round the final corner, and he will win the debut Qatar Grand Prix in LSI. Zingy wins. Zingy is going to take that one. Ziggy is going to be right behind him as they try and celebrate a little bit. That was an interesting situation. Heischler is going to take that P2 in the end after a very, very dramatic end. Right there. Gibby, what a shame. What a shame. That is heartbreaking. Absolutely heartbreaking. He left the session actually on that final lap, but it's what it is. There you do see Ziggy unlapping himself from the AI car to complete the final lap, and then we will be going into the results menu. Well done, Zingy, for that one. Very, very well done indeed. That is pole position, the race win, and the fastest lap to top it off. He's done an incredible job. That is going to be the championship secured for him in the Friday tier. He deserves that very, very much, and he is a series champion. Believe it or not, that's his first series championship. He never has actually won a series championship. He's won 4 official championships, but the series titles have not quite gone his way. Finally, he's got it on the Friday tier. Can he secure it tomorrow for the Saturday tier? We'll find out. We'll find out. It's not going to be as straightforward, but it's going to be very, very possible with the advantage he has. Actually gets driver of the day after a very, very nice way to end that race. Very dramatic indeed. And then we will get the results. Let's see how it goes. There you go. Scottish flag displayed. Zingy takes the win as Heisler in P2 and Actual Gibby in P3. Ziggy will take P4. DNFing earlier on, Dave Raptors and Robbo. Fastest lap there for Zingy as well. We'll go for the race director just in case if we need to a little bit later on. Hopefully we can get everything. And I think we will do. Lovely stuff. We will be back for the post-race interviews. We will see you in a bit. Hello everyone and welcome to the post-race interviews of the Qatar Grand Prix. We're today for the post-race interviews, so we will get started. Heisler, that was an interesting one. It was a difficult start to the race. Then all of a sudden, you're looking at a P2 towards the end. It wasn't so straightforward with the time penalty situation. Luckily, you managed to get it in the end. Can you take us through that one?
Yeah, I made just a bad setup call, to be honest. Like my time, my setup for the softs and the mediums was fine, but for the hards I struggled so much. I had until I spun I had understeer, oversteer. After I spun I still had it. It was a horrible time, and of course that makes it a lot harder to keep in track limits as well. With also the track being hard to stay within track limits. Like, I think everyone had a penalty. Yeah, it was tough, but then on the mediums it was quite nice. I actually enjoyed the mediums. Of course, I pitted way later than everyone else, so my mediums were the nicest of them all. And yeah, my penalties was a situation, but I saw from how much I gained on the Gibby that I maybe could make the 12 seconds. Then I kind of did nearly, but then again got a penalty. But then Gibby had no fuel left, so I was lucky there. But yeah.
Yeah, that was a very dramatic end. Despite you guys being so far apart on the circuit. But yeah, well done for coming out on top. That is another podium. That is P2. So yeah, you should be very happy with that one. Well deserved. Vegas. Do you like the circuit, or is it maybe okay? Fair enough. I guess optimization reasons is also quite frustrating as well. Anyway, well done. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
Nothing went smooth.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Well done today. Great effort.
Thank you.
And we move on to Gibby. Gibby, pretty much the other side of this battle. It was very, very disappointing right at the end. Do you think you might have had it, or was the fuel situation a little bit more difficult than we knew?
I mean, I definitely underdid it with the fuel. I should have went with 1 lap more, maybe. But yeah, if I had enough fuel, I would have probably caught the Giffler.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, it's heartbreaking after all that effort. It was very, very nice to see, so thank you for making that quite entertaining. It's a shame that you didn't get on top of it, but you got a podium. Are you happy with that, at least?
I am very happy, yes.
Yeah, well done. Awesome. Good to see you back, and good to see you up on the podium for the first time in a while. So yeah, next race, Vegas. You like that circuit?
Not at all.
You don't think if maybe lots of people don't like it, you can maybe have the advantage and get involved?
I do not like it at all. That's all I have to say. It's terrible.
Fair enough. It doesn't seem to be too popular, to be honest. But yeah, it is what it is. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
Not enough fuel.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Well done today. Great effort. And we move on to Ziggy. Ziggy, what an unfortunate start to the race. That absolutely crippled you. But to finish off the race, that wasn't too bad. Nice little fastest lap battle. So close as well.
Yeah, I mean, it was just crazy. I was like 1 minute down. I tried to do the fastest lap. It put me on old tires. Tried to join again on new tires. I still had the old tires after the second pit stop, and I was like 1/10 within the gap to the fastest lap. I'm just quite mad I didn't get it.
Yeah, no, it's such a shame. You kind of think to yourself, oh, if I maybe did that one corner a little bit better, I'd have had it. But you know what? To lose to Zingy, that's not the worst thing in the world because he's pretty quick. So if you're 1/10 off him, then yeah, I wouldn't be too disappointed. So well done, very good effort, and thank you for making that quite exciting at the end. onto Vegas. Are you the one person that maybe likes the circuit?
I don't hate it, but like it's clearly not the best.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree. It does seem to be like there's a lot of negative camber corners, which makes it probably one of the most disliked circuits on the calendar. But like I said, if you can get on top of it, other people might have issues, and you can get up there. But yeah, really well done today, staying in the race. Great determination. You scored some good points. Should be very, very proud of yourself there. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
What a joke.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Well done today. Great effort.
Thanks.
And we move on to Zingy. Zingy. That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. Winning the first race at Qatar. Are you happy with that one? Do you think you can do it again tomorrow?
I don't want to sound cocky, but I did kind of expect that I was very quick last time I raced around here. And I knew if I just got minimal penalties, I know everyone else would probably mess up and get themselves one. So I would have had that buffer. Although I did get one late on in the race, but of course Haj's 18 seconds set him back to last weekend, so it didn't really matter in the end. So I'm happy to get a win.
Still in Brazil, which I don't think he actually attended, so that's pretty impressive. Well, very, very good effort. I don't really know what to say, to be honest. Vegas, I think, do you like that circuit?
I think it's a unique one, and I'm definitely one of the few who do like the new track. It's well, I've not mastered it. I'm definitely not, but I know I've got some good pace around there. So to round off the season, I expect a clean sweep, 6 races, all won. I hope.
That would be very impressive. Yeah, well done if you can get that done. Vegas and Miami, both USA circuits, both brand new to, of course, last game and this game. You seem to like the kind of underdog circuits. Fair enough. I don't know. I'm just absolutely making waffle right there. Well done. You are the champion. Very, very well done. Perfect stuff. Gonna try and look for the double championship, the constructors as well. I think you've secured that one already as well. So yeah, very well done indeed. Let's see what you can do tomorrow. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
I'm just better.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Well done today. Great effort. And we end the post-race interviews with, I was going to say a quick word from me, but I don't really have anything to say other than the usual. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow for the Saturday tier. We'll see you next weekend for the finale at Las Vegas. We'll see you on Tuesday for some practice lobbies. Anyone is welcome to get involved for that one, so be sure to come along. Other than that, it's been a pleasure. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.